guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. We're going to talk about all the makeup releases that are coming in the makeup industry, at least for this week. Or some of them have already been launched and some of them are like sneak peeks, okay? That we cannot talk about. Anywhere outside, do not talk about it. You've only heard it here. But yes, I am very excited to hear what you guys feel about this new makeup releases, and I am also going to play and create this makeup look because very recently Club Nebula came into my collection, so I'm going to play with that, create this look with you guys, and I'm also going to test House Labs foundation for the first time. Rest everything is like holy grail status for me. So if you guys are ready to talk about new makeup releases, then please keep on watching. Okay, let's begin with the makeup. I'm going to take my Refer moisturizer as a primer because I really love this as my base. It gives like enough hydration, plus it is like a great base for the foundation to stick upon. That's gonna be like my first product. But also let's talk about the new makeup releases because oh my god, how much I love this season. I also tend to get super overwhelmed with the makeup releases just because there are so much coming in the market and everything I feel like is like top notch towards the end of the year. And you know, I try to pull back myself towards the beginning of the year because I know this like moment is gonna come because I will be overwhelmed and I will buy a lot of palettes, especially eyeshadow palettes, because they come out with such amazing releases that I am like, oh my god, how can they all release at the same time such great products. For the foundation is the only new thing that I'm going to take, and this is like a sample product of House Labs by Lady Gaga, and I am going to try the shade 340 medium cool because that's what is I feel like will match me the best. So let's start off with that and we'll see if we want to mix this or not. But I feel like 340 medium cool should work. Okay, let's talk about the thing that I'm super impressed about or excited about, and that is of course Bella Beauty Bar Recently De-Influenced palette. I recently duped that palette on my channel. Again, I dupe palettes just because I am interested in those palettes. If I can like dupe, my tendency of buying that palette reduces. And that's the main reason why I do it. It's a very selfish reason, I know, but I have to calm myself down and not buy everything. But man, oh man, that palette looks beautiful. Like, oh my god, even though I duped that palette, I feel like I can definitely see myself getting it. Maybe not exactly on the launch time. I don't know if it's a limited edition palette or not. This is actually a little bit on the deeper side, but I can definitely make it work. Yeah, it comes with beautiful 15 shades. You can find my dupe video in the iCards above. I'll link it for you guys. But man, oh man, those multi-chromes, they took my breath away. I really love Bella Beauty Bar formula, and they recently came out with the basic witch palette. I felt like I could skip on that just because I duped that palette also, and I was like, okay, you do have all the shades in your collection, you don't need it. And it also had a little bit of greens, which I hardly wear. This palette, oh my god, I love it. I so much love it. I do have those shades. Not everything looks like exactly similar, but I definitely can get the same vibes if I want to. But that looks amazing. That palette retails for $69 and it comes out on September 20th, and that's my sister's birthday. And I'm like, is that an indication? Because a lot of things is coming out on September 20th, okay? Oh god, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. This is Tower 28 concealer. Still testing it out to give my final thoughts, but so far so good. I'm absolutely loving that concealer. And this one I was in the shade 12 Pali. So when I'm tan, that will definitely work. It definitely works all over my skin. It's not like a brightening concealer by any means. But because my foundation was on a little bit more on the darker side, I felt like this concealer works on that. So yeah, that was the first release that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, still super excited about it. Generally, I do wait for the palette after it's been released and after I see all the swatches, and then I dupe all the palettes. to see if my excitement calms down or not, which generally it does. If it doesn't, that means I really I want it, just because that'll haunt me. Okay. And yeah, recently de-influenced palette is definitely haunting me in my dreams. Let's move on from that and let's talk about another palette which I am so interested in trying. I'm definitely leaning towards getting it, and this is from Ensley Rain, and this is their Harvest Moon palette. This is their remastered Harvest Moon palette because they already had a Harvest Moon palette already in their collection. And this palette is a hefty price of $88.88. Too exact to be true, but I got a bronzer from LYS when I was expecting a powder. Please wait. Back with the powder, I'm taking Resilience. $88. I feel like it has, I don't know how many shades. It comes with 21 shades, out of which 14 are special shades. So that's why the hefty price range. I've never tried Ensley Rain cosmetics, and especially when you're trying a brand for the first time, shedding $88 definitely seems a lot of money, and it is a lot of money, don't take me otherwise. I do have a code with Ensley Rain which is Smithy Sony, and you can save 10% off if you also want to try it. I've heard tremendous, like amazing things about Ensley Rain cosmetics, and I was just waiting for a color story that speaks to me, and this definitely speaks to me. It has grungy mattes, it has deep tone mattes, it has beautiful everyday shimmers too, along with that special shimmers, multi-chromes. It's full of that. Even if I put my code and then include shipping, the palette retails for about $93 for me where I live. So thinking all of it, I still feel I might get it. I might get it just because I feel like it'll be a beautiful investment. If you like break down the price only against the multi-chromes itself, like 14 multi-chromes, if you're buying from like a Cleona or a Terra Moons, which the heard that their quality is like at par excellence to them, it's gonna cost a lot more, like over $100, like easily. I feel like if you break down the cost, it comes like, you know, $88 divided by 14 shimmers, it comes to about like $6 some change. That for a multi-chrome is unheard of. I feel like if you are interested in those tones, I'll definitely be reviewing that palette for you guys. I feel that's a good investment, especially because of the neutral tones and like those shimmers, those shifty shimmers. If you are into shifty tones, you will absolutely love it, is what I am guessing. But again, I'll review it for you and then I'll let you know. Till the time I've not reviewed it, I cannot just tell you to go out and buy it. The same way I am not like buying every release out coming in the market. I'm not expecting that you will also go out and like just buy every release. So yes, we have to definitely keep those things in mind, especially in this like holiday season when everything seems like lovely in our eyes, you know. I'm taking the same powder all across my face. For the bronzer, I actually took She Glam's bronzer, liquid bronzer, and this one was in the shade Warm Honey. Let me just set my face so that it doesn't go anywhere. By the way, I applied the Lady Gaga foundation, right, and it blended very nicely. And I actually just applied the thing that was on the sticker, and I only went with that shade 340C. And it was a little bit darker. I felt like I could have mixed the medium neutral shade too. Where's that thing? Let me just cover it and keep it. I'll wear it to office tomorrow and see how it wears for the entire day. But 340 medium cool seems a little darker on me. Keep that in mind if you are like a foundation twin for me. I am leaning towards getting that. This palette releases on 29th of September. This palette releases on 29th of September and 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Mark your calendars. I have a very good feeling that this palette will sell out. People are loving the reveal of the palette. I have a feeling that it will sell out. Let me plop some blush, and I'm taking my Persona Cosmetics blush in the shade Georgia. Let's also talk about another sneak peek from Ensley Rain, and that is Twisted Tea Party palette. I don't know when is it gonna get released, but they have sneak peeked its cover, and I'm hoping that I'll pop all the pictures here, okay? And the cover looks absolutely amazing. It feels like the brush is shedding. I thought, I was like, why do I have a small gray hair when I have long hair? But anyways, yeah, twisted tea time party with that joker and all the shades that are there on the cover. It seems like it is going to be a colorful palette for sure, and I'm here for it. Like, all their cover pics look so intriguing. I cannot even deal with it. Cannot deal with Ensley Rain right now. Let me melt everything out, and let's plop some highlighter. Let's go with Makeup by Mario because that's my trusty highlighter, if you guys don't know. And let's move on to talking about a relaunch. Adept Cosmetics inspired palette is coming back for the holidays. So if you were eyeing the inspired palette because it sold out super quick, and there were a lot of people who are such a big fan of it, especially if you are into greens, that palette has been well loved in the beauty community. It's just a reminder that it is coming back. Also, another reminder, Blend Bunny Cosmetics Surge palette is going away. So if you were eyeing Surge, this time would be the best time to get it because it's going for good. Just because I felt like the owner, Maggie, did mention that it's getting difficult for her to formulate neons at a lesser price point. And she doesn't want to compromise on the formula of the neons, and that's why Surge needs to go away. So just a reminder for you guys, if you were eyeing, that would be the best time. Or if you were eyeing the inspired palette, this would be the best time for you to think what all things to buy and get in your collection. Just a reminder. Okay, now let's talk about a few foundations. Estee Lauder Futurist Skin Tint Serum Foundation with SPF of 20 has already been released, and this retails for $53 and it has 29 shades. It looks like it is more of a sheer foundation, like a skin tint. I love Estee Lauder foundations. I've always loved their, there was a Sheer Glow foundation. I loved that. I also loved, obviously, the Double Wear foundation is like my holy grail foundation. I wear that whenever I have like big events to attend. Not like big events, like any occasion to attend. Not that I'm like a big YouTuber that I'm going for events, right? Or a movie star that I'm going to events. But yeah, I do love that foundation whenever I have to attend some occasion. Really love it. I feel like I would definitely love it for a skin tint. I'm not investing in one right now, but I can definitely see myself grabbing for one when all my skin tints like go out of place, or like I finish them, which is not going to happen anytime soon. The second one that I want to talk about is Rose Inc Soft Light Skin Smoothing Foundation. This retails for $54. It has 31 shades and it is a medium natural finish foundation. I feel like all of that sounds absolutely amazing. Let's move on to the eyeshadow because otherwise I'll just take ages. But also I want to thank my wonderful subscriber. I hate the word subscriber. We have made such a beautiful community here on YouTube. I have so many friends, like some of the subscribers, some of like YouTubers. I have made such wonderful friends after like coming into this YouTube journey. One of my beautiful subscribers, Fotini, she sent out Club Nebula my way. Thank you. Thank you. If you guys know, you know. This was one palette which I was like drooling over after it was discontinued. I was like, I need it. I really wanted it. Like, I'm missing it. This was giving me FOMO. And she was so kind. She sent me one and I want to play with it so bad. Like, who remembers this? Of course, you know Club Nebula. We're going to play with her today. Let's start off by priming our eyes. Rose Inc foundation seems very up my alley, just because one, it is a buildable foundation. It's obviously of that higher end price tag. I have not tried anything from Rose Inc as yet. Have you tried Rose Inc? How do you feel? The packaging intrigues me the most, I would say. I really loved the packaging. You know, when Fenty Eavesdrop came into market and that packaging was like unique, That is exactly how I feel with this Rose Ink foundation, just because it's not like a normal bottle foundation. I really love the shape, and that catches the eye so much. If you've tried it, do let me know in the comment section below how do you like it or do you not, because medium natural finish sold me right there. So I definitely have my eyes on it. We'll see when can I get it, or if I get it, am I gonna like it or not. Okay, let's start off with a crease brush, and I'm gonna go into this taupey shade, Naru, and let's talk about other releases. This is like my skin tone. Did you see that? I had like thermocol bowls inside. I think one of the thermocols jumped out of the brush. Anyways, okay. That seems a little more on the taupey gray side for me. But yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about makeup releases, because I can talk about this and you cannot find this palette. So I don't want to talk a lot about. You can see what I'm applying, right? Okay, let's talk about this. There's a lot of sneak peeks that has happened. Cosmic Brushes, a brand that I've been eyeing for a long time. They have sneak peeked their next upcoming palette, which is called Gothic. Man, oh man, does it speak to me. One, Cosmic Brushes is an affordable brand. It is a UK based brand. I love when people do affordable palettes at such great quality, and I have heard nothing but great things about Cosmic Brushes. If that color story speaks to me, this might be my first palette that I try from them, and I'm very excited about it. I have no idea when is it coming, because there's no dates or anything. I think they said it is coming next month. I don't know. Next month is September or October for them, because I don't remember when they sneak peeked that. Was it last month or this month? But yeah, definitely in my radar. I have my eyes on it. Very excited to see what is it gonna be. Okay, once we have all that smoothened out, because it blended out beautifully. Okay, now I'm gonna go with Cylon and then blend it with Rock Hopper. So let's do that. Okay, the next thing that was sneak peek. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but Natasha Denona palette got leaked. Xenon palette, and I have thoughts. If the palette that I saw, I don't know if I can like show the palette or not. I really don't know, and I don't want to get into trouble from Natasha Denona. If you are a cool tone person, if you like your grays and blacks, that palette is right up for you. You know the mini Xenon. It was full of grays, blacks, and silver. Multiply that palette times 3. That is what you're gonna get in the midi palette. That's all that I'm gonna say. Okay, am I gonna get it? That's not my color story. I'm not gonna get it. I recently did get her, like this year actually, I got her retro palette as well as her I Need a Nude Natasha Denona palette. I'm set for this year from Natasha Denona. I love her formula. If that is your color story, I'm very happy for you. But I also know a very similar color story. Huda Beauty is also releasing her. She releases her holiday, like yearly palettes, right? I'm a big fan of a Rose Quartz palette. I'm a big fan of a Mercury Retrograde palette. And this is called Pretty Grunge eyeshadow palette. Again, it's a leaked photo, so I don't know if I can show you or not. It is a cooler tone color story. I don't even know what all can I say. It's not as cool tone as Natasha Denona Xenon palette. It has skin tone shades too. It has a very less shimmers. I don't even know. Is it 5 or 6 shimmers? Because it seems like one of it is like her gel formula, which I do not like. But she has 11 mattes, I think, and 1 cream shade that she introduced last year, I think, with the Empowered palette. 1 cream black shade. Again, if I see all these cool tone palettes that are gray, black, I feel like hers has the most variety, and I love Huda's formula. So I feel like I might get that palette instead of Xenon for sure. If those are my 2 options, I would get Huda palette. But also, I would wait for a sale somewhere, even if it is a 10% off. to get that Huda palette, I would do that. Because I feel like there are a lot of like lighter tone mattes. I would have loved if she would have put like more shimmers. Seriously, I love her shimmers so very much. I would have definitely appreciated more shimmers. Okay, going into Rock Hopper. Oh, that was deep. Didn't think that's gonna be that deep. Oh man, I thought that's gonna be a blending shade between those two, but that was deep. Okay. Okay, I need a brush, clean brush. Let's tone it down. While I'm blending, let's talk about another sneak peek. Odin's Eye. By the time I'm like posting this video, I'm pretty sure you've seen all the palettes because this palette launches on September 20th and this would be sneak peek tomorrow. And today is Sunday when I'm recording this. These palettes would be definitely revealed on Monday. And I have a feeling that the only thing that I know is that these are collaboration palettes and I love Odin's Eye. Love Odin's Eye. Like, see, this Jewels and Gems palette just stays right there on my vanity. So does the Red Dragon palette too. For my cool tone colorful looks or for my neutral everyday looks, I love both of them. I have a feeling that I'll absolutely love it. But we'll see. If it's muted, sign me up. If it's like super colorful, I'll have to think about it, but I'll plop pictures of both the palettes on the screen for you guys because it looks like two palettes are there and it also looks like there's so much more to that collection. So we'll see. I'm going to take that Samu shade, which is that peachy orangey shade, and I'm going to just blend and the lower lash line just so that the blend is there. And I'm also going to take a little bit of Samus there on the outer, like on the transitioning area. Yeah, that's a beautiful transitioning shade. It looks like so dark and deep. But we'll go with shimmers, of course. The Odin's Eye Halloween collection, again, it launches on September 20th, as I said, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mark your calendars for that. Moira Beauty, oh my god, that came out of nowhere. Moira Beauty came out with multichromes, liquid multichromes. They're gonna launch on September 21st at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They sneak peek that they're coming out with something special. And I immediately knew that this is multichromes because there was like chameleon, so like changing colors, and diamond, so space. It's called Space Chameleons. And they're coming out with different shades, and the liquid multichromes is gonna cost $12 each, which I feel like if it's a good quality multichrome, that's a steal for sure. What are we gonna take? Because I want so much on my eyelid. Let's take Nebula and then we'll go into this shade. Let's do that and see. I'm excited to see what shades because I've only seen, oh my god, that's so pretty. I've only seen Moira Cosmetics, I've only used Moira Cosmetics blushes, the flower one, the embossed one, and I've absolutely loved that. I've also used their face palettes. I was not a big fan of that, but I mean, you know how much I love my multichromes. So I might like that. That's a beautiful shade. Like it. And then last, certainly not the least, I definitely had to speak about Pat McGrath Holiday Collection. Who saw her holiday collection revealed? Oh my god, there's so much. I got super excited when I saw the promo, like promotional photos. And I mean, Pat McGrath is known for her like sneak peeks and definitely intrigued me. But she has a lot. Let's break it down and talk about it. She has two big mothership palettes that was sneak peeked. Both of them are like $76 or something. Let me see. I have no idea when is it getting launched or anything because there are no like dates that are being revealed. But her holiday palettes generally are like revealed in like installments. So I don't know like when everything is gonna come out, but what I see is it's called Bijou Brilliance Collection, and it has two big mothership palettes. Generally, her mothership palettes are like, 18 pan eyeshadow palettes, and that also is $76. Now we have 9 pan eyeshadow palette and 2 blushes. I would have loved her stick to the 18 pan eyeshadow palette just because we at least get variety with that. Now we are only getting 9 shades. Not excited about that for sure. And if you do have her holiday collection palettes, the last year's and the year before's, I have not last year's, like 2021 and 2020 palettes. I feel like you can get very similar vibes to the ones that she's releasing right now. It may not be like exact, but I'm pretty sure that you can get like very similar vibes if you do have both those collection. Like what was it called, like some Nirvana and like Celestial Odyssey palette. I have Celestial Odyssey with me, but if you like break down those palettes, I feel like, let's see, the Starstruck Splendor palette, which with those greens, I feel like the mattes in those palette can be very much be duped with the mattes in both of those palettes. If you have it already in your collection, that green looks like very similar green to the ones in the Celestial Odyssey palette. There was one green like that, and there were like a couple of greens in the first Nirvana palette also. From Pat McGrath, it looks very similar to that. So if you are interested in the green especially, just check out your palettes. You might have those palettes already, like those shades already in your collection. But if you were eyeing her blushes also, then this palette might be really nice for you. I'm going to take that shade Celestial, which is like that gold to a salmon shade. I'm going to just incorporate everything because I am so excited, and just meshing it with that silvery shade just to melt both of those together. But the mattes seem very similar to the Celestial Odyssey as well as the other palette, and the blush shades are really interesting, but nothing unique. I don't like the fact that she included blushes in this, just because if the people are not interested in the blushes, then it's just a matter of like, why are we spending $76 on like 9 shades, Yeah, that doesn't seem anything like special. And it seems like both of the palettes, the first shade, like the top left shade in the eyeshadows, both of them are like duochromes is what I am feeling. Talking about the next palette, the Jeweled Temptation palette, that is more of like rich tones, like with pinks, golds and purples. She's done those color story way before, like she's always done those color story. If you're eyeing again those purpley tones, if you have that 2020 palette, you probably do have those tones with you. And obviously golds, if you have Pat McGrath any palette, you have those golds and pinks. Rich burgundy tones are always special from Pat McGrath, and the first left top shade is definitely a duochrome from like gold to a pink shifting shade, which, I mean, if you're anywhere a fan of indie makeup, I'm pretty sure you have that shade over and over again in your collection. I'm gonna go into this Red Giant shade, which is the deep red burgundy shade. I'm just gonna take that just a little bit on the lower lash line. I just cannot help myself. I really love that. I like that. I like that so very much. I'm just gonna take a little bit of red. I so like it. Okay, I'm gonna take my powder brush and let's talk about the Pat McGrath 5-pan eyeshadow palettes, which is the next thing that she's releasing in their collection. She has 4 sets of quints, out of which I'll pop a picture of all the 4 quints here. I feel like the one that is going to sell out is Lunar Nightshade palette, which is with those blues in it and the purple matte. I feel like everybody would be living and breathing for that, just because we've not seen like those minty tones from Pat McGrath before, and that's definitely calling my name too. I'm not sure whether I'm gonna get this or not. This palette, like the quints, would retail for $36, which is a good price for Pat McGrath. Also, she's coming out with 3 different mascaras, like colorful mascaras. And yeah, I'm not gonna buy a Pat McGrath mascara just because I don't wanna invest in a colorful mascara, especially from luxury brand, especially when I am more of a basic person and I wear black mascara all the time. Rest, all of the quints look very basic and very pinky tone. You would have those shades in your collection. I'm pretty sure there's nothing like spectacular about it. There's one quint which with all the shimmers together. Again, because it's all shimmers together, I hardly wear like I hardly gravitate towards my smaller palettes. So I don't think I am the right customer for that. But I was definitely eyeing their 18 pan eyeshadow palette, like their holiday palettes, just because I feel like that's definitely a bang for your buck kind of a palette, especially from Pat McGrath. Apart from that, they are also launching some of the Divine Blush and Bronze and Glow Trio, like face palettes with bronzer, highlighter, as well as blushes. And they have 3 different sets for light, medium, and deep skin tone. Again, if she could have given us like make your own palette with choose your bronzer, choose your blush, choose your highlighter, that would have been great. But I feel like now people are like restricted with the combination just because of the bronzer shades that she's included in it. Again, that's my take on it, because the shade for medium skin tones, which would suit me, is Nirvana in Blue. Bronze Nirvana as a bronzer, which I feel like that would be lovely, but it looks a lot warm tone for me. But the blush that is Sunset Bloom looks sheeny, which I do not like sheeny blushes, and I am not interested in a peachy highlighter. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So that's a definite pass for me. And this retails for $52. I mean, yeah, that's how I feel about the Pat McGrath holiday releases. Let me quickly finish off with my lips. And for my lips, I feel like this calls for more of a cool tone lip. Let me just blend this edges. I feel like this can have a little bit more blending. Again, my problem, not the palette's problem. I am loving the tone, but like I'm loving these vibes. Thank you, Futini. Thank you so very much. Loving it. Okay, let's take Colourpop BFF3, because you know how much I love it. After, I feel like after KKW Beauty lip liner got over, I immediately leaned towards BFF3 because the tone of both of these are dupes. Like KKW Nude 2.5 and BFF3 are absolute dupes to each other. As soon as that finished, I started wearing this, and this is become small. Definitely went out of the borders. I can either go with Bow and Arrow from KVD, or I can go with L'Oreal Cutting Edge Cork. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, I love it. I love how everything came together. Now I'm just going to finish off my face with Givenchy powder, and I'm going to call it a day because I feel like that would just lock everything together. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, you know what? Oh my God. Actually, this eye look reminded me of Mel. I don't know. I think in my vague memory, I feel like Mel Thompson here on YouTube. She passed away. She's no longer with us. I feel like she did like a very similar look with the Club Nebula palette. Am I wrong or am I dreaming or what am I thinking? Oh, I think. Uh, I'll see if I can like find the picture of her. She doing a very similar kind of an eye look. I swear it just like struck me when I saw my face with this eye look. Oh my god, that just reminded me of her. Okay, let me just spritz my face. Let me see if I forgot anything that I wanted to mention. No, I think I mentioned everything that I want to do. There are obviously a lot more releases coming out in the makeup industry, but these are the ones that I am most excited about. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this talking about new makeup releases and also testing out my Club Nebula palette, now mine Club Nebula palette. I really loved the look that I created. I cannot wait to wear this to office tomorrow. I cannot wait. I really loved it. I really loved it. But that's all for today, guys. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And do let me know in the comment section below, out of the holiday releases that has been sneak peeked or that you have seen, which are the top 3 things that you really want in your collection, at least in your makeup wish list that you want in your collection. But that's all for today, guys. I generally post makeup videos 3 days every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.